Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, Boeing says Air Force bomber selection process is irreparably flawed. Amazon may be stepping up from drone delivery to Boeing 767s. British Airways to repair fire-damaged aircraft. I'm Bree Cross. It's December 23rd, 2015, and this is Airborne Unlimited. ANN Associate Editor Earl Downs watched the live streaming of the SpaceX launch of the Orbcomm 2 satellites on Monday evening and reported, quote, "It was exciting to be there live with the SpaceX employees as they watched and participated in the flight. It took me back to the days in the 1960s when we cheered and clapped for every spaceflight success, and I found myself applauding along with the crowd. To watch the booster land as it was actually happening was stunning and surreal," end quote. With this flight, SpaceX has not only recovered from the launch failure earlier this year, they have also taken another step towards reusing previously discarded boosters. SpaceX has announced that this first recovered booster will probably not be reused, but will be used for the research needed to perfect a refurbishing program. All of us at ANN congratulate SpaceX for their outstanding achievement. Boeing continues to press the issue about the selection process in awarding the nation's next-generation long-range strike bomber contract and has filed a 133-page brief in response to the Air Force's filing regarding the company's protest. The Boeing and Lockheed Martin team believe that the Air Force's selection process was irreparably flawed and therefore have decided to continue with their protest before the General Accounting Office. Northrop Grumman, the winner of the contract to build the new bomber, sees things differently, as you might imagine. In a statement, Randy Belote, Vice President of Strategic Communications for Northrop Grumman Corporation, said that it had filed comments with the GAO in support of the Air Force's decision to award Northrop Grumman the bomber program. In response to the Boeing-Lockheed Martin filing, Belote said, quote, "We understand that Boeing has filed an additional brief in this matter. This is a routine step, particularly at this stage in a protest, and not in any way indicative of a meritorious protest," end quote. Online retail giant Amazon.com could be looking into bringing its shipping in-house with the lease of 20 Boeing 767 freighter aircraft. It's reported from the shipping news site Cargo Facts and the Seattle Times that there are indications Amazon is in the process of building a logistics system that would include overnight air freight in the U.S. The company has been flying 5 767s a week out of Wilmington, Ohio for several months, according to a supply chain management firm. The company currently mostly relies on FedEx, UPS, and the U.S. Postal Service for its deliveries. The report says that establishing its own logistics system would increase capacity, allow it to control the delivery schedules, and establish a revenue stream by selling excess capacity. Neither Boeing nor Amazon have commented on these reports. After the break, British Airways fire-damaged Boeing to be made airworthy.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Welcome back. If you would like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. It's hard to forget the scary sight of the British Airways Boeing 777 that suffered an uncontained engine failure and resulting fire on its takeoff roll from McCarran International Airport in Las Vegas in September. Well, it looks like that airplane will fly again, The analyst said that they expected that the plane would be considered a total loss, but now the Las Vegas Review-Journal reports that a British Airways spokesman said that the airplane had been inspected and been found to be repairable. A spokeswoman said that a new engine would be hung on the airplane and that it would be ferried to a certified maintenance facility where it would be made airworthy again. She said, quote, "A team from Boeing will carry out the repair work, which will be certified to the same high standards as if the aircraft was brand new," end quote. No timetable for the flight or repairs was given by the airline. With some 2,000 Aero-TV programs webcast to cyberspace, sometimes it can be fun to look back and enjoy some of the places we've seen, the flyers we've met, and the planes we've flown. Here's a look at one of our favorite Aero-TV classic episodes.
Always had this desire to take off and come back to the same place and circumnavigate the world.
In this video, you'll see how Mike Laver scratches one item off his bucket list. Jim Campbell talks with Mike about his trip around the world in his MU-2 turboprop corporate aircraft. Search Around the World by MU-2 on Aero-TV's news channel. After these messages, Medical Center employee breaks a trust.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, Navcom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Now certified Aspen Avionics single-band ADS-B ATX100 and ATX100G transceivers are the next-gen ADS-B solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. A former employee of a cardiology clinic in Grapevine, Texas, has pleaded guilty to a charge of sending a pilot's medical records to the FAA without his consent. Her actions occurred after an argument with a commercial pilot. The employee now faces imprisonment and a fine. Cecil Spaceport plans to begin generating a small profit after 5 years of operation. The spaceport is a former Navy jet base in Northeast Florida and is the only spaceport authorized to conduct horizontal launch operations on the east coast of the U.S. A TSA officer is accused of facilitating the smuggling of drugs through the Oakland International Airport. The officer operated the X-ray machine at the TSA security checkpoint and permitted her co-conspirators to clear the TSA security. WestJet Encore pilots have voted in favor of a new labor agreement. The tentative agreement was negotiated between WestJet Encore and WestJet Pilots Association. This is the first ratified agreement between WestJet and its Encore pilots. A Virginia man has been cited by the U.S. Park Police for flying a UAV on the grounds of the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C. Park Police say that 3 people were flying a WonderTech Zenith UAV on the grounds of the monument. Well, that's our trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. The latest version of WingX Pro 7, which is 8.6.1, includes some new features specifically targeted at helicopter operators and some other features that enhance overall performance. According to the company, helicopter routes and helicopter Gulf Coast charts can seamlessly be overlaid on sectionals. Helicopter route charts provide valuable information to helicopter and fixed-wing pilots in high-density areas such as near JFK. In addition, Grand Canyon charts for general aviation provide more precise information for GA pilots flying in and around the Grand Canyon, and the company says that NORAD procedures are now included in WingX Pro 7 right on the moving map screen. WingX also announced support for several less expensive ADS-BN receivers, including dual XGPS 190 Stratix and Bad Alf. Check out the WingX website for all the details about their latest new version. Well, that's our program for today. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. Please join us and a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news from the staff of the Aero-News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource. We'll be taking a Christmas break, but we'll be back next week. Have a very Merry Christmas. We will see you Monday.